Oh, your mic is off.
Okay, thank you so much. Hello and peace, greetings, everyone. This is a new week with a new year with the Chinese New Year celebration. It's a Lunar New Year, and a warm, warm greetings to everyone who's celebrating it. This is a year of the ox. We'll probably speak a little bit more on that. As always, we have amazing guests who adorn our Global Peace series with their words of wisdom and their experiences, where we share innate, awesome insights to the tools, techniques, and more conscious conversations around what is peace and how people show up in their lives in experiencing and tapping on the innate peace available for them. And of course, that's where the whole world is. And thanks to Miss Amara Samata, who's joined us today. Thank you, Amara. And you are right now in Bali. Actually, originally you're from US. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Dr. Azeeza. I totally resonate with what you're doing, what you're offering. You are a gift to the world. Thank you for doing what you do.
Well, it's always a reflection. I take that. I accept that. Thank you so much. And most importantly, it's always reflections of who we are and what we are to the world. And you are an amazing, amazing spiritual leader. And you have founded the organization, or rather the system, the Samata system. We're going to speak much about it. And Amara, dear audience, is also the founder of the InnerGuidance system as well. She's going to tell us a lot about this. She received her gift of being infinite oneness in 1991. Oh, sorry, you got your name.
My name.
That's right, the name. You were gifted the name Infinite Oneness. That's what it means in 1991. You've come a long way as a seeker of ultimate truth. Friends, she has got 20 years of dedicated seeking, service, and studies, including 2 years daily private. Now that's a tricky word. Doctrine teachings as an assistant to the female Buddhist Lama in 2012. I mean, that's amazing experiences you've had in life, and we're so gifted to have you here with us. And right now you work on a very interesting signature program of yours, which is a process that you put people through in your retreats. I've been going through your work, more than 10,000 plus hours dedicated to research and development, working with over 2,000 students around the world. Thank you so much, Amara. You're an amazing person that we're so happy that you're going to be having this 20 minutes conversation with us. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you for that. Yeah, it's been a long, wonderful, amazing journey.
Yes, it is. And we are going to have more time together today and in future too. I'm so excited about it. Tell us, Amara, what do you feel is your definition of peace?
So peace for me is something that, for me, it's a natural byproduct of a way of being. Right. So something that we can define it to some degree as sort of a, as they say, the map pointing, or pointing the way. Yeah, the finger pointing, a picture of the sun. We can have an idea, but it's never the same as the sun. So real peace to me, I would define as the experiential byproduct of living in harmony with what is.
Thank you. Thank you so much for that crisp, and I love that byproduct of a natural being, right?
Yes, natural being, yeah.
Natural being, fantastic. And I want to also relate to this because you have created your own signature programs on this space of ultimately what the byproduct of your students, what do they get out of this?
So with the core process, which is the InnerGuidance process, what they get is, it's a way to know yourself. So it's a self-reflective process that invites in your full intelligence, your kinesthetic, emotional, psychological, and energetic intelligence all at once. So it doesn't get compartmentalized. It's all offered in one together. So that's why it's quite accelerated, but it's reflective based. There's inquiry, there's journeys, there's contemplation. So what I discovered by working with so many people is that there is an inner conflict of self that is happening. And I realized that before we could go deeper, or the path to deeper healing and awakening is to heal this conflict within. Part of me wants to do this and part of me wants to do that. You know, I do, but I don't. So it was a way that that I just use visualization and support tools and very specific sequencing of questions that sort of unlock your natural defense system and allow you to look at yourself. So,
I love that one. Unlock your natural defense system.
Yeah, it's sort of like the code to making it okay to face the truth. That we all sort of know, but maybe tell ourselves stories that it might be risky to connect with it. Turns out that those stories are not as true as we think they are.
Absolutely. Yeah. I relate to that so much. And so, Amara, shall we start playing the game?
Awesome. Yes.
Let's play this game. And as we say, the miracle game, you know, this is the 39th week we started playing this game with everyone. It started off as a miracle time, and every Sunday we've been playing this for the last 38 weeks, and this is the 39th week. And of course, the Global Peace Series is the evolved version of how we have started this whole weekly Sundays. Experiencing miracle as a miracle in our life is everywhere in us and around us. So as we play this game, we say this is not tarot card reading. I say this every week so that you remember that this is not tarot card reading. It's just becoming aware of what the world is telling us, what the whole universe has been positioned in such a way to give us answers for any questions, any doubts, any fear, or any challenges we face. So this is what it is. And today, Amara will give us the number on what we will be, what we are destined to learn this week. All right. So everybody take a deep breath in, really focusing on what's in it for you in life and what is the question or you are seeking. And Amara, of course, what you will be thinking of is what is every one of us are supposed to receive in this session. And tell us your number.
Between what and what?
1 to 100.
1 to 100. Okay, in honor of the 39th week, I'll pick number 39.
Wow, thank you so much. Let's see. So can you read this? I'm going to widen it a bit.
There we go. It's all of us or none. We really need to get this. Only our ego can be in the way of this truth. When the truth stands, realizing the only way to one world is to be inclusive. We allow love to prevail, create ways to come together and serve humanity as one.
Yeah.
Wow.
You know, this is, I always wonder, you know, how come I can't remember that I wrote this. So it's really like, you know, and I wouldn't even remember at what point in time I would have written it, but it's just those Facebooking moments has been so useful for me right now to at myself and what was channeled through me and the divine guidance, right? So tell me, Amara, what is your take on this? And this is really an interesting conversation we can get into.
Perfect. It's very deep. It goes straight to the core. It's one of the most core elements of our survivalistic nature is that we all have a deep, deep secret that you just hit on so precisely that says we all rise or we all go down. We do not like some of us rise and some of us go down. We think we do, you know, for the short term, but it always comes back around to bite us. So this is similar in alignment with something we might call like the bodhisattvic view that says, you know, I will continue, whatever I am will continue to come back again and again until all are free, until all beings are, well, not only free, because truth is we are free, but we forgot. So until all realize as it's been said, remember their innate natural oneness and freedom. Until that is not distorted, and that is open and available consciously to everyone, we tend to not be satisfied as an experience of the universe unless it's available consciously to all. So we have to, it's in our, programming, we have to rise together as one. We have to come, we have to collaborate, which is where a huge chunk of my work is going now, is all around the collaborative relationship system and how we can do exactly that, give back at the same time that we're rising and really meet that challenge that says, how do we navigate that all or none? This isn't a binary, us and not you guys experience, not ultimately.
Yeah. And so when this word ego is always been talked about, as we grow around on it, we'll realize that there's many definitions around the word ego. So maybe you want to tell us a little bit of what your take is, because the natural context is ego gets in the way. So that's what everybody is talking about. Do you have any other opinions, or how do you feel this can be further enhanced, this learning can be further enhanced?
Yes. So I tend to work with ego as a protective system of the evolving consciousness of self. So that, there's the way that we evolve in this world consciously. And when that's not optimized in our birth and raising and parenting, we tend to adopt protective assumptions about, which becomes these views, right, of the world that color the way we see things. It's not right or wrong, it's just the nature of our protective survivalistic system. Once we find the courage and we keep that curiosity to question our assumptions and our beliefs, which creates our egoic construct, then we can start the process of going like, oh wow, there's a part of me that can witness me. Isn't that interesting? And really reflect on and look at the way I behave and the way I act and develop conscious awareness. And then the egoic, protective, assumptive experience can really tone way, way, way down and let what really is more presently available in. And for some, that's just something that they must do, they have to do, that they can't live with all this protection. That was a good idea in some moments, but it became a way of being. And this has to do with the kind of the 5 F's of fear that I talk about and how we develop those over time.
Fantastic. So as we say, the ego gets in the way, and as it's written here, the ego gets in the way, and the inclusiveness is compromised. And that's a fact. Because many a time, and you started off by talking about inclusiveness, and what the statement says is the element of love to be in the place. So replacing ego with love can enhance the journey of being all inclusive. So then I want to ask you, how do you define love, and in that context, and how does that support us to feel all inclusive?
Well, classically it's spoken about as love and wisdom. You really need compassion and wisdom, both. Okay. So that kind of love that gives you the ability to stay present even when you're triggered, because that's when that kind of wisdom and compassion goes out the window, right? And what we're triggered is the defense pattern is triggered by the overlay of assumption that you are so convinced is true. And every time I take people into dialogue, they always say the same thing. I never knew that. Or I feel like the first time I'm being seen. It's the first time I'm really being heard. Or I didn't understand that about you. I'm so sorry. So when that defense comes down, then the real wisdom and compassion, and that together creates a byproduct we would call love.
I love that when the defense comes down.
Yeah.
And then voila, look at the beauty that you are.
Yeah, and it's not that we walk around without defenses. It's just that we learn how to really apply them, accepting and rejecting. I talk a lot about this in my work, and how to do that in a healthy, holistic way that serves the wisdom and compassion rather than limiting it.
That's right. You know, you are giving me a real memory of how a transformation experience looked like or felt like for me at that time. And this was a very intense transformation program I went through. It was a complete healing exercise that, you know, it's a business program, but we go through that in the Accelerated Business School, the Money and You program. And it was so much of healing. This is the first time I've ever went through in my life. I'm talking about it because I want you to share the process you put people through. So what happened after I went through that session at night, which lasted until 2 a.m. in the morning, when I went back, that's almost less than 3 to 4 hours sleep. I was back in the room, and while going there, while in the MRT, a lady walked in. So this is how she's dressed: gold all over, a short mini skirt, and she's an Indian. So she's really adorned with gold all over. I just imagine that. And she's an Indian, not very slim and sexy. If you have that view, she's quite a plum-sized lady, all right? So the moment I saw her, my mind went blank, and I caught myself, hey, why am I not judging her? I caught myself saying that to myself. Hey, why am I not judging her? How come I'm not feeling anything about her? Why am I telling you this, my friends? That's a result of a processed defense down, assumption down mindset. The part of you that goes like, okay, everybody, have their right to feel, walk, talk the way they want. That's really none of my business. And how can I love them, whoever, whatever they are? So that's a kind of end result of a transformation program. And I've gone through many such phases. And I want you to share, Amara, what processes you put people through, and how transformation happens. And I want you to talk about transformation, and you're the best person.
Oh, well, first of all, I mean, that's a beautiful example. You said it right there. I caught myself. So that's when the consciousness became aware. And then you ask a beautiful question, which I'm going to take from you now, that says, why am I not judging? Why am I not judging her? It's a great question to ask. I invite all your viewers today to just adopt that question and that roadmap, and say to yourself, when you see somebody, before it even starts, catch yourself and say, why am I not judging? And that will just drive your mind right back towards the root, which is what great questions do. Yes, so well done. And then on the other side of that, you can have an authentic, natural, spontaneous experience. And when you have the tools to hold yourself in integrity, you could have a conversation with that person or not, or all kinds of possibilities, but you trust not a defensive overlay, but your capacity to be present, and that you have the tools of accepting and rejecting and being able to accept and reject. So a lot of the transformation I help people go through in the InnerGuidance basic process for yourself, and now with couples in my core CRS, or collaborative relationship system that I'm working on right now. This is a really core program for couples, families, teams, and communities. It's about developing the tools to be in presence and not be afraid. So knowing how to, for instance, set a healthy boundary. We all talk about not defensiveness, but just a natural, integral knowing of a true no. Everyone wants to set a healthy boundary, but nobody wants to be rejected. So we have to understand that a rejection is a gift, and to respect somebody's no, and even to be able to inquire about it and to negotiate with it or through it and find the truth of it together, is what brings all this, beauty and all the things that we're looking for in life. How to accept, right? How to say yes and have that be a real true experience, so that you're not saying yes to what you really want to say no to, and you're not saying no to opportunities you'd really love to say yes to. How do we turn that confusion around? That's what I help people with.
That's a very important conversation, because sometimes and I have had this experience, when people ask you something, so do you want? And you naturally go, no, I don't want. And that sometimes come from an ego stand, that we are rejecting something. It could be as simple as, when you go for a party, like, when you go in Singapore, I'm not sure in other countries, but here in family, some of us, when we are having a party or get together, there's food, after we eat, do you want to take some back? We'll go like, no, I don't want any food. When you think about it, why would you want to reject? I mean, it's like, can you give me a little bit? When people are giving you something out of generosity, and why not accept it? And this happens in different aspects of our life.
Yes.
Is there something beyond that conversation of saying no?
Oh, so much in that. And you've also just denied that person their ability to give, which is one of the great gifts, is to give, as you know. So you just basically cut that person off from their ability to offer.
Wow.
And you cheated them of that moment out of some concept of living, rather than the natural moment that says, do I want to take something home? Yes, I'd love to. Or if you really don't, I wouldn't be able to use it, but thank you so much. I appreciate the sentiment. So something that just allows, to you to live naturally in that, without conditioning, really. And when you take this on the inner spiritual journey, it goes all the way to the root of saying yes or no to what you might call source or God or universal, life force or oneness, because that's where this is all eventually headed. So the miracle of life is saying, I'm here, are you ready? And if you're saying no thanks, then there's going to be
so that's a very powerful way to say no. And saying no means no to them, but you have said it very aptly by saying no is no to yourself. You're saying no to that possibility of offering another person to keep giving the gifts. So they may become like, oh my God, I keep getting a no, so I'll not give anymore. So that's the kind of what you call resign to doing that. People end up resigning to doing that, not giving. So that's really a different angle of looking at it. Thank you so much for putting that out there. Yes. And so tell me, as we end off this session today, what do you expect, or what do you feel you want to gift the audience today, a technique, a tool that they can use to enhance their state of being in terms of in peace?
Okay. So, until you are living predominantly, significantly in the byproduct of alignment and truth, which is peace, there are choices to be made. And the choice to empower yourself to come to life consciously is one of the biggest choices that you can make, to really show up so that you can grow up, wake up, heal, serve, find your purpose, all those things, connect, all those things we're looking for, right? So what I would like to offer is a few, this is my basic inner inquiry frame that you can start with every morning. You can do it once a day if you want to all the viewers out there, if you want to commit to this and say, okay, I'm going to try it for 3 days, 10 days, 11 days would be awesome. We could say 39 days because that's our magic number of today. And watch what happens when you live from a place of conscious knowing of yourself when you start your day. And it's very simple. So I like to say what they are. And if listeners out there want to write this down and remember this, make sure that you have these. And you would just drop into your own integral field. You would just feel the presence around you. You would take a few breaths to acknowledge, just acknowledge. Acknowledgement is huge. Just acknowledge, here I am right now. Out of all the places in the world, I'm here. And just start with that. And then you would ask yourself, or say this to yourself, and then just fill in the blank, okay? Number one, what I really appreciate is. And so if you're doing this now, just think about the first answer that comes to your heart, the most truthful thing that comes forward. Just really, you would feel into that. It might be you write pages, it might be a paragraph, it might be a sentence or a word. But you want to capture that in the morning. Get a hold of that, as you said. Get a hold of yourself. Two, what I want more than anything else. Really tap in and take responsibility for your wanting. It's what you're wanting to say yes to. What I really, really want is. It can be so simple. It can be love. You know, it can be connection, support. This is the words people usually say. Freedom. Two, what has been holding me back is. And note that and feel that for yourself. Often we say the word fear. This is the main thing that comes up for people, fear. And it's a fear of some significant assumed loss. So look at what's the loss that you're most afraid of. What number we're on, but the next one is what I need to remember is. And so you're going to go deep into your need and find that remembrance. Call it forward, right? And I need to remember is. Next, what I'm committed to is. So find your daily commitment. Remember what that is, what I'm committed to. Write that down or note that for yourself. And then to strengthen that, you can use the words even if. And that will help you find your edge. Even if it's going to be a little challenging, or even if I'm going to have to step out of my comfort zone, right? And once you see what you're committed to, then you can say, so today, what I choose is. And you're going to make a choice, because all empowerment, that ability to live in your truth, starts at choice point. So you're going to make a choice. So today I choose, and find one thing that you can absolutely try your best to commit to. It could be, I'm going to smile more. It could be, I'm going to take a breath before I speak. It could be a strategy, or it could be a way of being. It could be softness, or something vague, something specific. And then, of course, there's a lot we can unpack after that, as I do, in groups or private coaching. I mean, there's just many, many ways that we can get you into actually living this on a daily basis. But use all the skills that you have. Take that and see what happens when you question yourself like this every day.
Fabulous. Fabulous. Thank you so much. That has been so enlightening. And, so heartwarming to really get that exercise. I feel is so empowering. I love the last one, because we can choose different things, different days. Oh my God, that's so fun. And that's freedom. And that is what we want to have ourselves feel, independent and freedom in our thinking, in our way of being. So we can choose every day the way we want to live our life. And that's such an empowering question, Amara. That's the biggest gift for the Chinese New Year. And as we round off today's session, this is the year of the ox. You would have heard my Facebook Live, and this sessions that we do, Global Peace Series, goes into Go Global channel as a record. You can go to Go Global channel and view all our programs out there. So this year, in the year of the ox, as we say, the Lunar New Year year, you know that the year of the ox is all about hard work. Let me just convert that to say it's hard work. So just keep that similar, sounds like approach, but let's convert it to hard work, because that's the commitment. That is the level of choice you're going to make for yourself in your life that will take you forward in the most amazing way, because we are known to be for being loyal, being committed. That's all the year of the ox is all about: committed, loyal, and also in terms of the strength to be able to push through. When I say loyal, a bull or an ox is always loyal to its owner, right? So you're the owner of your life. So you need to be committed and you need to be loyal, and that will bring us a long way in the current situation, where whatever that you are going through in your life, situations will show up whether, you know, how you want to avoid it. It's all about us growing ourselves. So definitely this is going to be a wonderful year for everyone. We are wishing you a bright and best year ever. And this is going to be an amazing, love-filled, peace-filled, joy-filled year of prosperity. Wishing everyone a Chinese Lunar New Year. Greetings and 新年快乐，万事如意，身体健康，步步高升。All right, so fantastic. Thank you so much, Amara, for being part of this journey. And we are really, really glad that you are our Lunar New Year friend to launch this session for everyone. And that was really, really enlightening and empowering for everybody. Thank you once again for being with us.
Absolutely. Thanks for the opportunity. And I'm sure we'll speak again soon.
Definitely. Thank you, everyone. See you soon next week. Have a blessed week ahead.